that you could pay that bill without changing the name.
Now,
You know, at the time you paid it, you didn't need to change the name, didn't you?
do you want me to change it back, sir?
No, that's not you knew at the time that you didn't have to change the name.
Did you know or did you not know that?
I didn't.
She said you didn't know that.
Okay, all right.
We were concentrating on rent. There's been only how many months? 2 months paid? Only 2 months of rent paid.
So how much are you claiming is owed?
This includes water because there's $1,900, more than $1,900 due for water bill for water that was left on. The balance is $15,899.39.
15,000.
$899.39. That gives her credit for the escrow that's with the court of $6,600. 2 payments of escrow have been made only.
She's claiming over 21,000 owing?
Yeah, she figures 22,499.39 is the balance. When I say she, I mean Miss Anderson.
And how much did you say?
66.
I know that. I know that.
So what months is she claiming rent for?
All the months after, she has not paid anything since the first the 2 months, May and June. She owes the rent from July.
You're claiming for July?
Yes. August, September, October, November, and December. Not include, yes. Okay, don't. Into the court.
You paid
I know,
what?
we know that.
Paid those months.
Where?
Talking about July and all that, I paid that.
Yeah, July and August have been paid. They're escrow. They're in escrow now. September, October, November, and December.
Just a second, counsel. So you're looking at 6 months, basically, right?
Yes, 6 months have not been paid to us. 2 months have been paid into the court. So this is 4 months
6
owed.
months. So, Ms. Lyman, I'm a bit confused because when we appeared here before, you had indicated that you were going to pay the rent into court escrow, and I don't have anything. I only have 2 months in escrow. How much did you pay in escrow this morning?
I paid that $22.70 that I said I was going to pay.
$22.70.
Yes.
What's this? That's still, but that's not. Your monthly rent is 33.
Yes. Remember when I told you how I broke it down for the prorated amount? And that's what I came out to when we were here last time.
Okay, but if that paid, so here's my question. If I have in escrow July, we'll just call it July and August because those are the latest ones.
And I paid September this morning.
Okay. And then if that's the 22.70.
Mhm.
Yes, all right. So without going into even at this point, the difference between the two.
I'm only 2 months behind.
Okay,
Oh.
but where is the 2 months?
I don't have it right now. I was planning on paying at the end of the month.
I don't see how the 2270 pays at September either. And she's prorated it, but prorated, what does it mean? It's prorated. The entire amount is owed.
I didn't get it prorated.
I understand that, counsel. What did I just say? So you don't have October, November, or December at this point.
The rest I was planning to pay at the end of this month.
What do you mean?
I'd like to pay the rest off at the end of this month.
So basically 9,900.
No, it should only been about 7,000.
Why would it be 7,000? Your monthly rent is 3,300.
Yes, I'm only these couple months. I thought it should have been $7,650. I thought that was all.
Mm-mm.
You know, we've got a
There's
copy of,
6 months that's owed. Okay, I have 2 months in escrow. Right? So now I'm dealing with basically 4 months. You paid 2270. Again, I'm not going to get into necessarily why you got to that figure. I'll deal with that. I know what I have. But then when I look at October, November, and December, I have nothing.
Yes, because I didn't pay October, November, and then we're just getting to December.
Well, we're okay. So you're the two at this point, though, there's 9,900 that's owed at a minimum into court escrow. Right? What you say?
I suppose so, yes. Because I'm confused because I paid her May and I paid June when we first started.
The only thing I'm looking at right now is July through December. I'm looking at those 6 months. And if I'm looking at those 6 months, I have two and a partial. The 2270 that you paid today. Basically a partial for September. Follow me?
Yes, I get what she's saying. I thought when I had mentioned the overpaid amount that I paid in June and the extra $300 and how much it would have been $533 to be prorated. That's how I came up with that 2267. Because I only owe 3 months of rent, including December.
I don't know where this proration you have is coming from. Where you're taking monies off for September.
Because in May, I didn't get prorated at all in May.
Pardon?
I didn't get prorated at all in May when I moved.
When you moved in.
Yes,
You moved in on what day?
on the 5th.
But your lease started what day?
Which you started on.
On the 5th. And runs through what?
The 5th of next September. Don't really.
I have a copy of the lease, Your Honor. It starts May 5, 2025. It ends May 4, 2027
May 4th.
of 2027. I have a copy of the, you've got it, okay.
So you follow that, ma'am?
Yes.
So there would not be a proration
How come?
because you would have 4 days in essence at the end of your lease. If your lease ended on the 30th or 31st of a month, I could see and get your argument about the 5 days because you didn't live there those first 5 days. But the way your lease runs, it runs from the 5th, but ends on the 4th of whatever month. So you get all your time. It's just not on the calendar month, basically.
I would remind the defendant that she's ignoring the water bill that's $1,900.
Why are you dealing with that right now? Did I ask you about it?
I brought it up
Did
because
you
she's
need
not,
to remind her of it?
just a reminder of it, yes.
Why?
She's not
I'm
talking.
trying to deal with something right now.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You follow that, Ms. Lyman?
Yes.
So give me a total of 66 plus 2270. 8,870. All right. Yes, ma'am.
I can pay the 533 today for the 5 days.
Say again.
The 533, I can pay that today for the 5 days.
So basically, you can make September whole.
Yes.
All right. But what about the other 3 months, and why aren't those paid into court escrow?
Oh my God, a lot of family stuff had happened, so I had got behind. My plan was to pay those at the end of this month. Into next month.
Are you still up?
It says it's still. Because I paid the.
Hold on a second. That shouldn't have happened. Are you sure? We're still going. Say again?
No, because I'm talking about the extra 200 that I paid in June and plus the 300 I was supposed to be getting back that 533. The $300 from the deposit.
For what?
When I overpaid in June, I paid $200 in June, and then the $300 from the deposit that I was supposed to get back.
The 300 from the cleaning deposit? Or
No, it was for
the what?
moving in.
Your Honor, if I could explain, there was a security deposit. It was determined by the plaintiff that the security deposit was $300 too much based on the guidelines in this state of Michigan statutes. So she gave her a $300 credit, and it's shown on this ledger.
For June.
But shown on the ledger for the total balance. It's from the balance. The balance. It's part of the number that
But
is
what
taken
month
into
did she
account.
get the credit for? Because
It's not for a particular month. It's just on account. She's saying it's for a particular month. We're saying it's on account.
well, it's got to be for a particular month. When was the security paid?
May security, but it was paid in May.
So if she overpaid the security, that means it's credited toward May rent. Gotta be.
All right, then we've credited to her on the account, whether it's whatever month it's applied for. She's gotten that credit. It's shown on this ledger.
When did I get the credit? Because nobody told me. He just told that she was supposed to give me the $300 back. But
Say,
in June, I overpaid $200 as well.
I get what you're saying, that there was an overpayment in June. But how much did she pay in June? Just
30, she paid $3,300 in June.
3,300?
The rent, and she paid her late fee for June.
Oh, late fee. Okay.
How much is the late fee?
At the time she paid,
How much is the late fee?
the late fee is $150, but I think she may have paid $250. I don't have those records with me. She just put it in my account automatically. She just,
Council has a ledger sheet in front of it. Does that ledger sheet reflect that overpay?
It doesn't. It reflects a charge of $150 for a late fee.
But she said she paid 200 and
Yeah.
something.
yeah.
Oh.
She directly deposited the funds into my checking account. She didn't give me, and she put an extra $250 in the account for June. She directly deposited in my account.
Okay, I don't care how it got there. Is the ledger sheet that council has, does it reflect that that payment was made?
No, because
So it's 22,399.39 minus the escrow.
How much did she pay in security deposit?
The 525 plus the 750.
And where is that being held?
in my name.
In what?
In my name.
Is it in a separate account?
Yeah. Can I explain something?
No,
It's just-
answer my question.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Where's it being held was the question.
Oh, Chase Bank.
In a separate account.
Since then I've moved.
Is it in a separate account? Has it been in a separate account from the beginning?
No, because I actually moved everything over to LMC.
So I don't know where her security deposit is.
You said it's a Chase or it's been moved
It's
to,
to I actually closed the Chase account down, and it's my LMC account.
what is LMC?
It's a like Michigan credit. It's just that I was getting charged too much.
Okay, just tell it, Judge, where it is. What
Yeah.
bank is it?
LMC.
What is LMC?
It's like Michigan.
Did you notify the tenant that that's where the security is being held?
No, because no, sir.
Is it in a separate account at this new institution?
No, sir.
It's just commingled with your account?
It's actually in the savings account, so I don't.
Is it commingled with your savings account?
No, I have a separate savings account and I have a separate checking account.
I'll try the question again. Is it in a separate account that delineates it as a security? So it's in your savings or checking account?
Yes.
It's commingled with your funds?
Yeah, but I don't spend.
It's commingled with your funds.
Yes.
Did you send that?
Yeah, I sent it.
Who'd you send it to?
I sent it to the district court.
Oh. They gotta pull it for me. That's all right. We'll get here.
Oh,
Well, tell Ann, please. So, Ms. Lyman, how much are you counterclaiming for?
These have
Half of what?
escrow amounts that I paid in escrow.
I'm sorry?
At least half of the amounts that I have paid in escrow.
All right. And on what basis are you claiming that money should be paid to you? Meaning, why should I give that to you?
Because I haven't been able to live peaceful.
So interference with your,
My peace,
all right.
my mental,
Any other reason?
mentally, emotionally, just distress.
All right, but this is a contractual case, so some of those damages aren't there. But you're basically claiming an interference with quiet, useful enjoyment of the process.
Yeah.
And how much is the plaintiff claiming in additional water?
The water bill is 19, this is just for May 5th to December 8th, is 1915.80
1915,
Yep, 80.
80.
And the water bill, I had a payment plan. I had a plan figured out. And when I called, they said she called and took the water out my name, put it in hers and paid it. And then I sent the
Did
email
you
about
do that?
What happened was.
No.
Yes,
Did you do
yes,
that?
because he said it would go to my tax bill. She didn't accept the plan by that date, the 13th of October, which she did not. I have the manager of the utility company said she did not do that. And so I came in personally and set it up and paid it with borrowed funds so that it wouldn't go.
I don't care where the funds came from. You paid it.
Yes, so it wouldn't go on my tax bill because that's what they do. They don't.
I understand what they do. I didn't ask all that.
I just was protecting myself.
So the water bill's been paid.
Yes, sir.
Do I have a receipt for the amount paid on the water bill?
Yes, sir.
when I talked to Landis.
There's been 3 bills.
We have one bill here.
We submitted everything to the court.
Well, we don't have it right now. This one bill.
$13,1583.
Yes.
We'll just show that to Simon.
Okay. All right. It's okay. It's okay.
All right. Ms. Lyman, you saw that water bill?
Yes.
Okay. And that was the amount you were going to set up a payment plan.
Yes, that's when I called to set up, they said like an hour and a half or an hour. She had called in, took the bill out of my name and put it in hers and paid it. And then when I emailed about it, she had said, oh, well, you can just pay me now. That's what she said.
Okay, but
The judge leans in, tightening control as the explanation starts to unravel. The tenant admits the bill is real, the amount isn't disputed, and that's exactly where the pressure builds. Now the focus shifts, hard. Why was the bill taken out of her name? There's a pause, hesitation, and the answer doesn't land. The justification feels thin, inconsistent. The judge doesn't let it slide. He cuts through it, narrowing the question again and again, forcing clarity. And then it hits. You didn't need to change the name at all. The courtroom energy shifts instantly. What was framed as responsibility now looks deliberate. The judge calls it out directly. This wasn't confusion, this was control. And in that moment, the entire argument starts to collapse under its own weight.
you're not disputing that that's a water bill you would have had to pay.
Yeah, that's what I would have had to pay.
You would have had to pay that 13. Yeah, you would have had to pay it anyway. You were just going to do it a different way with the township.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you're not disputing the figure.
No, that's the amount that I got billed for. I had a payment plan worked out where I was just gonna pay it over time, not all in full at once.
Where's the email that says that it was going to go to your taxes if it wasn't paid or an arrangement not made?
I can get an email from the
I don't, you said there was one.
I have an email from the gentleman. I emailed it to the court. I CC'd the court. It's in the court record.
It doesn't immediately go on your taxes in any event.
They said
It doesn't immediately go on your taxes. I know how it works.
I didn't work, I didn't want to- so I paid it.
At the time. And she took it out.
So why did you take it out of her name?
This is from Cindy Roberts.
Why did you take it out of her name?
Because I had to pay it on the 13th.
But you could have paid it and it stayed in her name. Why'd you take it out of her name?
I put it back in her name, but I just
That isn't that isn't an answer to my question. On the day you went in to pay it, you're telling me that you paid it because you were worried that it was going to go on your taxes.
That's what.
Okay, that's fine. It doesn't quite work that way, but that's fine. But then the question becomes, why'd you take the water bill out of her name?
Because I wanted to be responsible, so I wouldn't get behind.
But that's not what the lease says, does it?
It says it could be, the lease says it can be paid by me and then she reimbursed me. You know, so I was just gonna give her the benefit.
Why was it put in her name in the first place?
I was giving her the option of being able.
Why was it put in her name in the first place?
They told me at the township that it could be put in her name if I wanted it.
Okay, so then it's put into her name. So then it comes down to this date. Why do you change the name on it?
Because on the 13th, they said if the water bill was due, it wasn't paid. I came at like 2 o'clock and they closed it.
Why did you change the name?
Because I wanted to be responsible for paying the water. I didn't want it to get behind again.
And so you couldn't be responsible without changing the name?
I could put it back in her name.
That's not what I said. You're telling me that you had to change the name so that you could be responsible for it.
So they could send me the bills and I can keep up with it and pay the water bill.
They would send you the bill anyway. You could always go online. You can look it up.
I just was concerned. That's all, sir.
But why was it important for you to change the name?
I thought I needed to be responsible for it. That's all. I just wanted to make sure I got the bill.
You're the homeowner.
Well, maybe I didn't know. I just did the best I could.
No, you did that to harass her. Because you could have paid that bill. At any given point, you can go right online and pay that bill.
Well, I thought
They don't care who's it's coming from. If that money is there, it's there.
the lease says that I can pay the water and she would reimburse me. I was just giving her an opportunity to put it in her name.
It was already in her name.
Not from the very beginning. It's in my name. It's a decorum.
Was it in her name?
Not in May when she moved in. I put it in her.
That was the first month.
I let her.
In June, was it in her name?
No,
July,
no.
August,
I let her put it in August.
September,
Yes.
October.
According to recollection, I think I took it out of her name in October, so I think I had it in her name 2 months.
Oh, dear goodness, why? Why'd you do that?
I just wanted to,
That was a question.
I was just trying to get it paid, so. All right.
You would agree with me, Miss Anderson, that you could pay that bill without changing the name. You know, at the time you paid it, you didn't need to change the name, didn't you?
Do you want me to change it back, sir?
No, that's not what you knew at the time, that you didn't have to change the name.
Did you know or did you not know that?
I didn't.
She said you didn't know that.
Okay, all right. Counselor, you gave me a number at the very beginning of 22,49939, which has been changed to 22,39939
Yes,
as the total rent.
yes. Not counting escrow.
Right, not counting the escrow.
Right.
When you gave me 33 times 6. You gave me 1,900. So I just so that I'm counsel, I'm not double counting. I get for the 6 months of rent, I get 19,800.
Let's see, 8, 1, 3, 6, 19,800. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, that's what I get for the 6
You don't have to
months.
point that out to me. I understand that. Okay. 19,800. That's correct for 6 months.
Okay, so what's our difference? When you gave me the 22, now 399, you gave me 22, basically 499. And then, but when I count the 6 months, I get 19,800. So I don't,
Okay. Well, we also get 19,800 for 6 months, but we add to it the water bill of 1950 and 80.
gotcha. Okay.
And we get the court costs of 183.59, and we get late fees
183.59.
of $900.
Late.
The numbers are on the table, but something doesn't add up, and the judge knows it. He slows it down, recalculating in real time, forcing every piece into place. 6 months of rent, clean, clear, undisputed. But then the extras start stacking, water bill, court costs, late fees, and suddenly the total jumps. The judge stops it right there. He isolates the difference, pressing for a straight answer. No deflection, no talking around it. Were late fees already accounted for, or not? There's a stumble, a break in rhythm, and that hesitation says everything. The clean math turns messy under scrutiny, and the credibility starts slipping. Now the judge pivots, sharp and direct. Did you send someone to that property? The tone changes instantly. This isn't about numbers anymore. It's about truth, and someone in that courtroom is about to be pinned to it.
Fees of 900.
Yes, they're $150 per month.
Were late fees subtracted out for the payments made into court escrow?
She was late every time it was paid.
Why can't I just get an answer to my question?
No, they were not taken into account in the
Thank you.
money she paid to the escrow. She paid $3,300 twice.
So I want to be clear on this, Ms. Anderson, because Ms. Lyman is claiming, and throughout the course of this case, and counsel, you haven't been here while it's been going on. She's claiming interference with her possessory interest. Right.
No, sir.
I'm finished.
On the day that Ms. Lyman is claiming, before I go back and look at this tape, did you send a gentleman to the premises? Make sure you give me a correct answer.
That was your question? Okay.
Did I send a gentleman to the house? No. She said I was in the car.
You have also, to this court, indicated you were not in the car in front of the house. Is that correct?
Sitting in the car in front of the house? No, I drove by one time. Just to check on the house. I've driven by one time in 4 months. 4 months I've driven by one time.
He's not asking about that.
No, I was not in front of the house waiting for anything.
Do you know anything about the gentleman that came to the house and came around the back of the premises as Ms. Lyman has indicated?
No.
Ms. Lyman, just to be clear, what date was that? November 10th.
At like 9 in the morning.
Response from the clerk's office.
She has not.
She is not, she's asking.
It was like the same outfit like on today. It was like a tannish, little pinkish color that you
Tannish.
like the hijab.
Okay. Give her Ann's email and have her send it.
It wasn't the first time that somebody had walked around the house. She sent, I believe, her contractor before though.
A lot of Muslim women in the neighborhood, a lot of women wear hijabs in our neighborhood.
And what's your argument in terms of the interference with her possessory interest?
There's been no facts presented other than this person who walked to the back of their house about interference with her possessory interests.
Okay, so that, and I hear you, counsel, but can I just say that? And again, you weren't here when that other case, and when I was coming back to you by decision, actually, she's put forth other claims of where your client has gone to the house. This one that she put forth today is one that wasn't included in that.
Well, I know that you were not again. What the heck? I'm sorry.
The only time I was at the house was when he was court ordered. I haven't been at the house since. I don't go to the house. unless
Oh,
it's
okay, all right. There was a court. I know that there was a court ordered inspection of the
Yes.
house, and she was.
Because there had been problems with coming to the premises and then claims that she wasn't able to get in.
Right. You were here. You were there at the inspection, right?
Yes.
Okay. She was there at the inspection.
Correct.
Me and I were
Okay.
there. I haven't been back
You've not been there other than.
other than driving by.
Oh, you already talked about driving by.
Yeah, just to make sure the house is still there.
There was not. You've not been on the premises
No,
except for
Have
that
you
inspection.
sent others on the premises?
no.
You've not authorized anybody to be on the premises, Miss Anderson?
No, I don't even know if it's still there. I drive by every now and again, to make sure it's still there. But I don't.
Okay, you already said that. Okay.
I'm going to say, counsel, that, and again, you're at a slight disadvantage that doesn't quite fit with what's been presented to the court previously. So, all right, you sent that video.
Yes, I sent.
All right, so Ann has it.
She said she'll let us know when she receives it.
All right, so